Hey everybody, Barry Moore. Just want to get a real quick video, kind of update you on what's going on and the political world and what happened to me this week. Thanks for sharing these videos. I bumped into a fellow today, actually certified public accountant, that said, "Hey, I really appreciate those videos." He says, "Man, that speaks truth and it gets to the root of the issues." And I guess they appreciate me sharing my opinion and ideas, and I'm happy to do that. And if you guys have any questions on upcoming elections, we got a Senate race coming up here Tuesday, a special election. I have some strong feelings about the candidates in that race. Be happy to share them personally. My private vote, that's my business, but I will be glad to let you know I know the men personally, most of them pretty well. So happy to help if you need me to. But let me tell you what happened to me, guys. Today, most everybody, a lot of legislators from the state of Alabama, I serve in the Alabama House of Representatives, are headed to a trip to Point Clear, Alabama, paid by a big, powerful special interest group called the BCA in Alabama. And, it stands for the Business Council of Alabama. And if you guys know anything about me, and if you don't, I'll let you know, I'm a small business owner. I have my CDLs. I drive a garbage truck some days, not as much as I used to. Triaxle dump trucks sometimes when my guys are behind. I can run an asphalt spreader, an excavator. I am a businessman. I have been on the side of signing the front of paychecks. And I've created jobs, and I've dealt with the DOT, and I've dealt with the EPA, and I've dealt with ADM, and I've dealt with the IRS. I understand what it's like every day for a business owner to try to get out here and make it work. Now, I've served in the legislature since 2010, so I've been in about 7 years now. But the beauty of that is I get to come back to my district. I never spend the night in Montgomery, rarely if ever. I think I spent one night last session, and that was when I had something really like late night, early morning. But I drive home every day, go by my office, talk to my guys, try to see them if I can, at least talk to my superintendent, and then head on back to the legislative process. But it allows me to stay in touch with what's going on and what the people out here in the district want and need, and you don't lose your way that way. But let me tell you what does happen. You have these powerful special interests like the BCA, which I vote with 99% of the time, because if you know this about me, you know first is my faith, second is my family, and third is finance. And anytime there's a bill up, as long as there's not a conflict between the financial side, the business side of it, the faith and my family, or the family issues at stake, then I'm always going to be pro-business. Let me tell you what I did last year. This is a situation where family took precedent over finance and business, at least in my own opinion. I brought a bill to repeal Common Core. Alabama's math scores went from 25 to 49th in just a few years after we started those college career ready standards. The college careers, Common Core, whatever you want to call it. But I saw my son in the 6th grade at the time when that was introduced, and that's been years ago. I saw him begin to struggle with math, a kid who had never had problems with math. The other night I sat around a dining room table when I've got a daughter who's very, very bright, very intelligent, gets it, and she's sitting here just struggling with Common Core pre-cal. And none of it makes sense. Those of us who have been through math and took calculus and pre-cal and all that stuff we did in college, we can't even help our kids with their simple math homework anymore because it makes no sense, and it's really slowing down the ability of kids to accelerate in math and learn. It doesn't make any sense. I brought a bill to repeal that, and I had a lobbyist from this very powerful special interest the next morning stop me in the hallway and said, "What are you thinking? What are you doing?" Like I had to get their permission to speak for my district. And overwhelmingly, the people love the idea that I brought the bill. If you just watch the news feed on social media, they were tickled to death. But here was this powerful special interest asking me what I was doing and what was I thinking, like I had to come get their permission before I introduced a bill to help our kids in schools and to help our math scores. As a father, as a family man, that takes precedent over finance. And so I got uninvited this weekend to go on a little beach trip with that group because I guess I don't let them boss me around. I'm not their puppet. And there's another bill we voted on this year that same group was against, and it was allowing, or forcing actually, insurance companies to cover children with autism. Now, the conservative, they hit me with this going, "Barry, how can you force a mandate on an insurance company?" And my response was this: if we're going to mandate these working families in Alabama to buy an insurance policy from your company, it's immoral not to mandate that y'all cover their children with autism. That was another big political battle that apparently I sided with the families of Alabama and went against the special interest. And so therefore, I got left out this weekend. I am blackballed. You're officially looking at a guy who has been blackballed from a big weekend at the beach with a bunch of lobbyists and legislators. And that's okay, because those guys don't elect me. Now, they fund money into campaigns because you have this big pot of special interest money, and they play both sides of the fence against the middle. That's why you guys never see anything get done in D.C. in that swamp, or in Montgomery a lot of times, is because they're paying lobbyists to deal with the Democrats, and they're paying lobbyists to work with the Republicans, and they got different messaging, but at the end of the day, the policies remain the same. That's why nothing ever gives. That's why you don't see a movement on the repeal of Obamacare. That's why you don't see a reduction of staff or taxes or anything, because there's too much special interest money in D.C. and in Montgomery, and there aren't enough guys with courage to say, I don't need your beach trip. I just need to stand for what I told the people I would do. And that's all I'm ever going to do. So while those guys are all out there doing whatever they're doing this weekend at the beach and hanging out at the pool and lathering themselves up with suntan lotion and sipping on drinks with umbrellas in them, let me show you where I'll be, guys. I'll be right out here doing what I've always done. You see that big 330 excavator back there? We'll be loading dirt and working. I'm just a regular guy trying to serve the people of Alabama in the legislature, and I'm running for Congress. I'm going to stand with the president. I was the first guy in the state to endorse him. I'll continue to fight for our president to drain the swamp. I've been doing it in Montgomery. They've tried to put me in prison. They've uninvited me to these trips. But at the end of the day, I'm going to stand with the people of Alabama. I'm going to stand with the conservatives in this state. www.barrymoore for Congress. Y'all come play in the dirt with me.